those skills, they're our future. We will not have good communities if we don't teach kids to be good workers and to be good citizens. So learning to live your life, a good life in the future, and learning to be a good citizen and community member are critical.
Thank you. Katie, we'll just repeat the question, with all the testing, how would you handle that?
So I've already mentioned something about this in my opening, but so I do understand that taking a standardized test does have significant value because it has to do with funding. However, I know that my kids start taking tests in August when they start school, and they take tests throughout the entire school year, and they are just now starting tests like right now to finish out the school year. And I have been in many board meetings where teachers and parents are standing up there asking for less standardized testing times. I have heard students complain about it. So yes, I am all for critical thinking and teaching for the child instead of teaching to learn how to take a test.
I'll say.
You want a rebuttal? Yes, you got 1 minute.
Building on that, when I was a university professor, I taught method and theory for anthropology. We often had PhD students coming from the education department to take the classes from us. And the kinds of tests, and I've given these tests the last 2 or 3 years, often reading them out to the children who cannot read the tests themselves to take them. So I know some of the tests quite well. And I found mistakes in questions and answers and reported those, and they got reported back to the state because indeed it was wrong. And they were it was not the kind of material, if you were teaching a class, creating a class, and developing the core curriculum around that, it's not the kind of questions you would be asking in your class to make sure the kids knew the material. It's kind of random.
Thank you. We're going to go into private school vouchers. Do you support expanding private school vouchers, and what can a board member actually do about it? Katie, we're going to let you lead on this one.
I do not support vouchers. Like I said before, the system is designed where rich people are getting richer and poor people are staying poor. These people who are using the vouchers are people who already have their children in private schools. It's taking money away from our public schools. It's not helping anyone. And as a school board member, I would just say no to vouchers every single time.
Thank you. Betty?
Well, I don't disagree with any of what you said. I agree wholeheartedly, in fact. Vouchers are, from the data that's coming in, and it's not complete yet for our state, but we have examples we could look at across the country where it has or hasn't worked, mostly not. But we need to not have vouchers because we are draining money. $7,500 per child this next year is what's been proposed, as well as the state. The governor is still trying to double the number of people that they give the money to allow their children to go to private schools. The data is out still on whether those kids are getting any better education in private schools. Not all private schools are equal in terms of educational quality. They may just be taking our money away from the schools and putting it into private schools that may or may not be particularly good.
Thank you. We'll go back to an audience question. It's 7:18. So We have a question, and it is, how assertive are you to perform in representing District 8 among the other board members? So I think we're kind of just talking about your way to handle things and how you're going to deal with any opposing folks. So let's see. Betty, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Being assertive with the board member, or you said with other board members
Correct.
representing this district.
This county,
Well,
the county.
the whole county.
Yeah.
I mean, repeat that. That's confusing.
No, it's okay. No, it is confusing. I apologize. So, how assertive are you to perform in representing District 8 among other board members?
Well, I will certainly represent. That's my first obligation, is to represent this district, which includes East Ridge, parts of Brainerd Hills, where my family's business was for so many years, and Concord, where I live now. So I will represent all of that. Now, all of our schools are in, either East Ridge or Spring Creek now. I will represent them. I've been talking with all the principals. I've taught in or substituted in all of them. So I have a good sense of what is needed and how to represent the people. As having been a principal investigator for many grants, I know how to get money, I know how to administer it, I know how to fight for issues related to budgets and or one type of need for the school over another. And I went to graduate school where anthropologists literally fight each other in graduate school, in the classroom, arguing over minutia. But so I learned to present my case and to really go for what I need. Now, I do believe that I also will be working with and representing other schools, because I've taught in other schools and I know their needs, and I want to work with my colleagues. I don't want to fight with my colleagues. My first thing is that I was taught in negotiating is to always go to the people and find out what their ideas are and what they want. And the best way to get those solved is to get the idea across to them that it's their idea, not yours.
Gotcha. All right, Katie?
Okay, how assertive will I be with the other members?
That is our audience question, yes.
Yes, okay. I will represent East Ridge, which is all the East Ridge schools I can walk to from my house. So I do know a lot of the students there and the parents there. So I know that I will represent them well. And being assertive with the other school board members, Chattanooga is a small town. I have a personal relationship with just about everybody who is serving on the school board right now. And I know that some of them are about to change, but even the ones who are not in my same party, I have been in their wedding or grew up with them. So how assertive am I going to be? I'm just going to be confident and communicative, and that's all I can do.
Thank you.
I would like to say one thing about the board, and I learned this in attending meeting maybe 2-3 months ago. The board members cannot talk to each other about particular issues. There's a certain protocol. They cannot, outside of the board meetings, they cannot communicate as friends or as colleagues or whatever else, because it is the board meeting issues that they have to be addressing. So it's great if you're friends with people. I've been friends with a lot of people in Chattanooga growing up here, about 3 times in my lifetime back, 21 years, 3 years working with 100 communities and neighborhoods, and then when I came back and have been serving the kids. But the point is, there are protocols about relating with your fellow members, and it's much different than what I would have thought, that we could just start conversations and discuss.
Thank you.
Can
Thank
I
you.
say something else?
Yes. 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say that I am aware of these policies, but also I am proud to live in East Ridge. So that is how I will advocate for the people who live in East Ridge and for the people who go to those schools. I want people who live in East Ridge to be proud to live there too. East Ridge is a wonderful place. Yeah, the location is great, the people there are great. The end.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This is great. Thank you both. I'll let you take it over, Jill.
There we go.
Thank you so much to both of our candidates for taking the time and being here and answering the questions. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for Tara for being our amazing moderator. And thank you for the Unitarian Universalist Church for offering up their space, and all the amazing volunteers who have been here. And thank you to each and every one of you for coming and caring about your communities and showing up and making sure that you are educated and informed before you vote. So thank you so much. And early voting starts tomorrow. So the candidates will be sticking around if they've got time. Feel free to talk to them. Thank you.
Sure, I would.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you both. So kind of jumping around here, I wanted to get some different questions here for us. We're going to talk about parent-teacher relationships. So, how do you see strengthening that parent-teacher relationship? These are two critical roles in a partnership for a child's learning. If you could just touch base on that and how you see that working if you are elected. And Katie, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Well, a parent's involvement is very important for their education. To answer the question, part of it could be to have parent-teacher conferences so many times a year that have to be met. Can you repeat the question one more time, just making sure?
Yeah, no, you're good. So, how would you strengthen the parent-teacher relationship?
Yeah, just making sure that the teacher is transparent about things that happen in the classroom, and they have that communication, that open communication with all the parents. Most schools have an app where the teachers can communicate with the parents, so that's one way of open communication.
Thank you. Betty?
I agree with that. Yes, teachers are in communication by phone and text with parents almost every day with many of their kids. So again, something that often takes away from teaching, but it's a part of supporting teaching. So it's essential. So in our after-school program with the YMCA, we have the same difficulties of getting a lot of parents involved, although our grant says we have to have a certain number of meetings. So I think this is something that the schools have their, the evening meetings every few months with the parents' nights, but you have the same parents and the same ones who don't show up. So some do and not. So that is an issue that we need to do more work on how do we reach those parents who are not as engaged. How do we get them interested? How do we get them to be excited about what their children are doing, even if their children are always in trouble? We need to find positive ways to communicate with the parents too about what they are doing right, not just what they're doing wrong. And that will make parents more engaged, I think, the more they can be proud of their children, or asking them the kinds of questions that will draw them in. And how do you deal with this at home? What do you want us to do? So, making them feel it's a partnership.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. We are going to dig into that's recently been debated whether to remove educator diversity policies. As a school board member, would you support keeping, modifying, or eliminating this policy? And how would you ensure both equity and fairness in hiring practices? We are going to start with Betty. We'll get back to you for this one.
We have diverse school body and teachers, and this is essential. It is what human society is about. I studied cultures all over the world, and diversity is one of the things that helps us to be richer as human beings. Understanding other cultures, understanding the people in our own society. We have to know about each other. Studying diversity and practicing how we treat people just in our daily life. And most of you will probably believe in the golden rule and all of the things that I do too. That we must be taking care of everyone. And so, give me the question again. I lost my train of thought there.
Absolutely. We're just talking about the
Diversity.
Educator diversity policy, how it's been changed.
Yeah, educator diversity policy, specifically not just the children and the diversity within schools, and of course the teachers being diverse, they become role models for those children who are from minority groups themselves. So that's one issue why it's important. We must have those people there who look like and feel comfortable to all our children. That is really important. Diversity, I can tell you an example, and I'll quickly do this. When I was a graduate student in my doctoral program at the University of Tennessee, there were teachers on staff who had been making less money than I made in my first professional job. And they had tried for years to get money. When in 1990, the department hired its first female African-American brilliant scholar who's still practicing today, everybody got a raise because she would not take the job. It was a diversity hire, and she refused to take it unless everybody got the salary increase that they needed. And UT bent to her.
Thank you. All right, Katie, I'll repeat this and then we'll give you your 2 minutes. We talked about the recently debated educator diversity policy. As a school member, would you support keeping, modifying, or eliminating this policy and keep equity and fairness in the hiring practices for teachers?
The diversity policy is important. It is beneficial. I would keep it.
Thank you. We are going to do one more question as we are coming up on our time here. And I would like to talk about, let's do just as far as teacher morale, working conditions. I know we talked a little bit about that. Just wanted to wrap that up as kind of our last question with some specifics on teacher morale and working conditions that are affecting student outcomes. Or should we get Katie?
So what is the question?
Sure. Teacher morale and working conditions that directly affect students' outcomes. What would you do to ensure those educators feel supported, respected, and valued?
Okay. Well, like I've said before, teachers need to be treated as professionals with respect and with the supports that they need. So I would say that teachers need whatever supports they need, and I would be there to listen to the administration, to let the superintendent know what the teachers at the schools that I represent need.
Thank you. Betty?
Well, I too addressed this a bit earlier, but just reiterate that teachers feel that they don't make enough money. They feel like they are not supported in the classroom in terms of behavioral outcomes of when they work. They don't see that carrying through so that discipline is affected. in the long haul. Those are two of the big things, and they need to feel like that they are central to the teaching process and to the curriculum development. That is being done from the state down through the school system and finally landing in the laps of the teachers, and they have almost no control over that anymore, and they're very angry about it. I would make sure that their as she says, professional treatment is a top priority. You won't keep them just with salary. You've got to have the behavioral supports to make sure that the classrooms are not unruly, and also with the final thing of that I was just talking about. I got distracted.
Absolutely. Thank you. I apologize if I distracted anyone. Okay, well, thank you so much, both of you, for being here and showing up for this forum. Thank you to everyone in the audience for showing up as well. I do want to give you both the opportunity to do a 1-minute closing remark. Since we started this introduction with Katie, Betty, we're going to let you go first. And yeah, please give us your final remarks.
Okay, I am a lifelong educator. I'm doing this because I feel like that all of the projects I've chosen to do and jobs I've taken throughout my career have been with larger communities in mind, and this one comes from the children. I'm running for them and because of them, and to make their lives better and to leave a legacy that the schools that we have in Hamilton County are as good as one or better than the ones that I went to, and they're not right now. And then finally, I'd like to tell you that I have sign-up sheets, donation cards, and palm cards and signs if you want to get them outside. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Love to have your vote.
Thank you. All right, Katie.
So I am Katie Perkins, and I am running because I am invested in my community, and I hope that you are invested too and you will vote for me. But I just want to say thank you for doing this, and thank you all for coming. And if you have any questions for me after this, here I am. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This is great. Thank you both for I'll let you take it over, Jill.
There we go. Thank you so much to both of our candidates for taking the time and being here and answering the questions. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for Tara for being our amazing moderator. And thank you for the Unitarian Universalist Church for offering up their space, and all the amazing volunteers who have been here. And thank you to each and every one of you for coming and caring about your communities and showing up and making sure that you are educated and informed before you vote. So thank you so much. And early voting starts tomorrow. So the candidates will be sticking around if they've got time. Feel free to talk to them. Thank you.
Sure. I would have you send it to me.
Yes.
I don't know how to turn this off. Do you want to send it to me?
My guy's got my-
Song that's gonna come